key driver of growth in the 21st century is going to be trade. We've seen the cost of manufacturing fall over the last 2 decades, and we expect to see the cost of moving goods and services between countries to fall in the next 10 years. And of course, new regional blocs are helping this process. Mercosur, ECOWAS, the GCC, ASEAN, the list of economic zones is growing. And as it does, the size and speed of regional trade is increasing every day. In the 20 years since the NAFTA treaty was signed, trade between Mexico and the US has increased 500%. Diversification has been the hot topic for over 2 decades now, and we've seen a lot of progress in that time. But look, it was inevitable that during a hydrocarbon boom that we've seen in recent history, there would be a lot of resources channeled into the oil sector. But in fact, some of the most exciting stories are in the non-oil sector, and not just in real estate and construction, in tourism, in banking and finance, but in new, interesting, energetic sectors like aviation or healthcare or education. For international passengers, Dubai is now the busiest airport in the world. Abu Dhabi has satellites providing connectivity to 140 different nations, including some of the most remote places. Saudi Arabia is producing complex defense and aviation components that feed into the global supply chain. So diversification is happening, and you can see it all around. When we meet President al-Sisi or the Sultan of Brunei or King Abdullah of Jordan, what's the one thing they all say? We need to find jobs for our youth. This is what keeps them up at night. The Middle East alone has over 100 million people between the ages of 15 and 29. So providing jobs for these people is a key challenge for the governments. And the solution is education. And not just education broadly, but specifically technical and vocational training. Skills developed not just at university, but earlier on in the educational cycle. So we develop these skills in ICT, in hospitality, in medical services. So this new generation have the skills to match the demands of the marketplace. And if you want a success story, look at Latin America. Over the last decade, over 70 million people have emerged from poverty in Latin America and the Caribbean. The priority now is to provide economic opportunities for these people. They need to create jobs in the formal economy. They need to broaden the depth of education. And of course, they need to improve productivity. I've always been excited by high growth markets. For over 2 decades now, Oxford Business Group has been covering the markets beyond the BRICS. Markets that for corporations have gone from high-risk outsiders to must-haves.